In my last video, we looked at some simple ways to start increasing your self-knowledge in relationships. So whether you prefer to talk about zodiac signs or attachment styles, whatever gets you thinking more deeply about who you are and why you act the way you do is going to help. But of all the ways to increase your self-knowledge in relationships, there's one that I have found particularly powerful. It's the most comprehensive theory I've seen on why we fall so hard for the people we do. And I'll tell you what it is in just a moment. But first, let me rant for a second. As a woman, do you ever feel sick and tired of this mountain of advice telling you how to be more attractive to men? It feels like every single website for women has article after article about what men find attractive in women and how you can be that. Now, sure, attraction will get you somebody to date, and attraction can even get you a boyfriend. But what attraction cannot do is deliver that powerful knowing that you should be married to this person. So try this exercise. Look at all the married couples you know, and then look at all the married couples around you. Like the next time you go to Walmart or Costco or Target, look at the couples who are shopping together, and then tell me this. Can you honestly conclude that being attractive is a requirement for love? When I look around, I see couples of all shapes and sizes, and I am baffled as to how some of these couples ended up together. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to why people marry who they marry. And that's because the reasons we feel so powerfully drawn to one person over another lie beneath the surface. They have to do with an unknown part of ourselves responding to mysterious cues in the other person. They're irrational and illogical until you do the work to bring them to light. And that's what I hope I can start you on today, a process that will help you understand not what makes you attracted to somebody, but what makes you feel so powerfully pulled towards that person that you'll marry them even if you know it will destroy you. Hi, I'm Amy Waterman. I'm a love expert here at yourbrilliance.com. And hey, if you're new to my channel, make sure to click that subscribe button. I love this theory that I'm about to share with you, so let's dive in. About 16 years ago, I sat in a little cafe, scribbling away in my notebook, and in front of me was a copy of Keeping the Love You Find, a book for singles by psychotherapist Harville Hendrix and Helen LaKelly. Now, that book originally came out in 1992, so parts of it haven't aged well, but the core of it is simple. Here's why you fall in love with the one person with the power to rip your heart to shreds. And here are the exercises to help you figure out your unconscious programming so you don't keep making the same mistakes. Hendrix and Hunt are the creators of imago theory, the idea that we are irresistibly drawn towards relationships that seem like they will give us the love we always craved as kids. So have you ever heard somebody say that women tend to marry their fathers and guys tend to marry their mothers? Well, this is similar to that, but it goes so much deeper. It's not that we tend to fall in love with someone who reminds us of our opposite sex parent. We fall in love with our imago. The word imago is Latin for image. And so your imago is your image of ideal love, that perfect love that makes you feel safe and held and cherished and adored. And you began developing your imago as a very young child. So from the time you were born, you felt warm and loved when your parents or caregivers did certain things, and you felt alone and abandoned when they did other things. Each and every one of those experiences was a building block. And so you absorb the positive and you absorb the negative and you combine them into your own uniquely personal template for love, all beneath your conscious awareness. And then as you grew into adulthood and you went out into the world to find a mate of your own, you unconsciously sought out love that matched that template. Love that felt familiar to you in all the right ways and all the wrong ones too. And so sometimes you would meet amazing men, but they just wouldn't feel right to you. And other times you would meet men that you knew were bad news, but something inside of you recognized them. It just felt like putting on an old comfy coat. Imago theory challenges the idea that what we are attracted to are the attractive qualities in another person. So the head is not choosing who we love. The heart is, and the head is justifying the heart's decision. And the heart remembers what it felt like to be treated as a kid. The unpredictability of your beloved father or mother, the way they talked to you, what took them away from you emotionally, what brought them back. And it recognizes some of those qualities in this man. So he has some of the same qualities as your parents, but you are so in love that you don't make that connection. You just feel like you have met your soulmate. You feel at home with him. You feel like you've known him all your life. Now, I used to believe that this is how you knew it was love. When you were with him, it felt like home. And that's what an imago match feels like. It feels like coming home to a person. And you are so sure that this is true love. You have to marry this person. You have to lock it down because no one will ever be able to make you feel like this ever again. But once you marry each other or you settle down into that committed relationship, the true nature of the imago match begins to show. You begin to drive each other crazy because our beloved parents, as much as we love them, also have the ability to drive us crazy like no one else. We need their love so much, and it makes us feel so vulnerable, and their human imperfections feel like a betrayal. The fact that you're getting hurt again in the exact same way by your romantic partner is not a cruel twist of the universe, though. It's an invitation. You are being given the chance to do your childhood over again, but this time you're an adult and you have the wisdom of adulthood and you have the capacity to heal what hurt you so much back then. For Hendrix and Hunt, marriage is a vehicle to heal our deepest wounds. So wherever we felt unloved in children will come up in our adult relationships for the purpose of healing. Hendrix and Hunt believe that marriage is important because it's supposed to be the unbreakable vow. The pain that will come up as the result of an imago match will be so intense that only the bonds of marriage can keep two people together through that arduous process of healing. Now, that's not what we're told marriage is supposed to be about. Marriage is supposed to be about love and support and partnership. But talk to so many married couples, and marriage does feel like an ordeal. It's tough. It's painful. You don't always feel loved. And that's where imago therapy can help. Hendrix and Hunt developed a style of couples therapy that helps couples really listen to each other and feel supported and loved. And there's lots of resources online if you want to check it out. But when you're single, what you need to do is understand your imago and why it's leading you to partners who have the capacity to hurt you in all of your most vulnerable places. I so wish there was a newly updated edition of Keeping the Love You Find, because as I said, it's 30 years old. But I found the exercises in that book so helpful all those years ago. I was getting over a painful breakup at the time, and I was shocked to figure out that this man I'd recently broken up with had many of the same qualities as my father. And I was like, yes, I finally figured out my imago and it's not going to trick me next time. Except I went straight into another relationship with a man who turned out to have many of the worst qualities of my mother. So like out of the frying pan into the fire. But what I came to realize is that this is the work. We pick these partners because they're the perfect people to help us heal those old wounds. So if we have self-awareness and our partners have self-awareness, we can fight through the fire and feel loved and whole in a way that's impossible to achieve any other way. So don't be so quick to believe the dating gurus that tell you that men fall for attractive women. Men fall for women who are an imago match, who remind them of the people who raised them and the way they were loved all that time ago. And when you find yourself hurting the man you love and not understanding why, and when you find him hurting you and not understanding why, look back into your childhood for answers. How is this like the past? What are you being invited to heal? Now, let me know if you enjoyed this video. I know it's a lot deeper and more serious than usual. And I want to ask you, can you see your imago playing out in your past relationships? If you feel comfortable, let me know in the comments. Take really good care of yourself, and I will see you next time.